있단 걸 지금 듣고 있는 나는 다 우리 서 있는 지구 집이 세워진 곳 자연은 모든 것을 주지 우리 멈춰서 주위를 둘러봐 경이롭고 아름다워 내게 행복을 주는 우리 태어난 이곳 모두 다 함께 지켜 우리 태어난 이곳 내게 행복을 주는 우리 태어난 이곳 모두 다 함께 지켜 우리 태어난 이곳 hey! 모든 것이 풍요롭지 깨끗한 이물과 공기 동식물이 함께하는 지구가 주는 모든 것 평화롭고 아름답게 이 선물을 보존시켜 아이들을 위해 내게 행복을 주는 우리 태어난 이곳 모두 다 함께 지켜 보이지 않니 언제나 이 발밑에 우리 필요한 모든 게 있어 이젠 보아야 해 이젠 지켜야 해 자연이 준 선물을 내게 행복을 주는 우리 태어난 이곳 모두 다 함께 지켜 우리 태어난 이곳 내게 행복을 주는 우리 태어난 이곳 모두 다 함께 지켜 우리 태어난 이곳 태어난 이곳
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Ibrahim Chow. I'm the Executive Secretary of the UN Convention to Combat Desertification. It is my pleasure to welcome you all here today and to serve as your facilitator to this special panel. I would like to remind you all that we have simultaneous translation in French and in English. And I wish you all a very happy Desertification and Drought Day. As you know, the global observance this year is hosted by the Republic of Korea. And since this morning, we have seen a fantastic program being displayed by our hosts from the Korean government and the Korean societies. And you just saw the Korean version of the land anthem, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, the original version is also nice. The theme this year is food, feed, fiber. And without a further ado, I would like to ask our colleagues to put on the video from the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres. He has a special message for you.
The health of humanity depends on the health of the planet. Today, our planet is ailing. Land degradation affects some 3.2 billion people. 70% of the world's land has been transformed by human activity. We can reverse this trend and bring solutions to a wide range of challenges, from forced migration and hunger to climate change. In Africa's Sahel region, the Great Green Wall is transforming lives and livelihoods from Senegal to Djibouti. By restoring 100 million hectares of degraded land, food security is maintained, households kept afloat, and jobs created. Such efforts bring back biodiversity, reduce the effects of climate change, and make communities more resilient. All told, the benefits outweigh the costs tenfold. On this Desertification and Drought Day, I call for a new contract for nature. Through international action and solidarity, we can scale up land restoration and nature-based solutions for climate action and the benefit of future generations. By doing so, we can deliver on the Sustainable Development Goals and leave no one behind.
Leave no one behind, and I call for a new social contract with nature. That was Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. I would like now to welcome you all to the high-level panel, whose theme is exactly, is it time for a new social contract for nature, as called for by Secretary General? We are privileged to have today 5 eminent panelists coming from the Middle East, from Africa, from Latin America and the Caribbean, from Asia, and one senior representative from an international organization. I will give them the floor in a minute, and I will ask each one of them to speak for 8 minutes or so. This will be we will have follow-up questions after these presentations, and we will then have a dialogue with the public. I hope we will be able to finish this meeting on time, which is due at 5 o'clock Central European Summer Time, which is in 1 hour and 20 minutes from now. Now I would like to give the floor to Dr. Thani bin Ahmed Al-Zayudi, Minister of Climate Change and the Environment of the United Arab Emirates.
Thank you, my friend Brahim, and thank you for the invitation. It's really a pleasure and honor to join a very distinguished colleague and speakers today. It's my pleasure and join you all at this panel. COVID-19 is testing us all, and our response has to be inclusive and swift to ensure that we not only survive the pandemic, but also survive after it passes. In the UAE, we acknowledge the seriousness of the situation early on through taking effective and timely measures to limit the impact of the outbreak on our social, economic, and environmental well-being. Our country has truly proven itself as a leader in crisis management. The UAE was one of the first countries to close down the schools, followed by them implementing social distancing and cancelling events, and eventually going into lockdown. And natural outcomes of these steps was a surge in online presence. The country's strong online infrastructure enabled people to go on with their lives virtually, from remote learning and working from home to embracing e-commerce and attending events. To reduce the implications of the pandemic on our business and private sector, particularly small and medium enterprises that were hit the worst, we have allocated the stimulus packages of $75 billion as part of our recovery plan. In addition to the government's announcements of significant drop of the cost of doing businesses, our banking sector has adopted an extensive relief scheme to help borrowers facing cash flow challenges. One of the major global concerns during the pandemic was ensuring that the food supply remains steady. To meet the food demand of our population, we followed a two-way approach. On the one hand, we stepped up our efforts to support the local farmers and explore innovation cultivation methods that enable us to make the most of our resources and are suitable for our desert climate. On the other hand, we worked to strengthen the international food supply chain. This goal required productive collaboration with other countries and expanding the number of markets from where we import food. We aim to maximize the efficiency of processing food imports at our ports of entry while maintaining the highest standards of food safety. This includes increasing the capability of our border testing labs and introducing digital import certificates. Owing to these measures, the UAE did not face any food shortages or hikes in food prices. Our environment was perhaps the only thing that witnessed a positive outcome of COVID-19. Due to an overall reduction of industrial production and traffic, biodiversity in the UAE flourished, and the country recorded a significant improvement in air quality. However, these results will not be sustainable unless people commit to making greener choices after the pandemic is over. The outbreak should make anyone wake up to the fact that it is possible to curb our negative impact on the environment when we act responsibly. Throughout the 5 decades of the UAE's existence, we always put UAE environment protection as one of the main priorities and as a cornerstone of the country's development journey. To guide our biodiversity and ecosystem conservation efforts, we have issued the National Biodiversity Strategy and the National Strategy to Combat Desertification 2014-2021. In 2020, we announced 5 new protected areas. This takes the total number of our protected area to 49 ones, accounting for 15.5% of the country's territory. To strike the right balance between environmental protection and economic developments, we are currently working on smart map of natural capital of the UAE that will inform decision-making on land use, investment, and business improvements, due for completion in the 4th quarter of 2020. And the map will identify local biodiversity, rich ecosystem, and 15 services they provide to the environment, in addition to an economic valuation of these services.
Video.
And to boost community participation in the government's drive to preserve local biodiversity and to protect and restore our natural habitats of endangered flora, we launched the GRAS application. It offers the public access to a complete database of local plants, species, and ways to care for them. The application users base is growing every day, and so the number of seeds and sampling planted. Through these efforts and more, the UAE is building back better and is on track to meet SDG 15, Life on Land, that focus on land restoration and biodiversity conservation. After the pandemic is finally behind us, environmental sustainability will be at the core of our recovery plans. Looking forward for the discussion with the rest of the speakers today. And thank you so much, my friend Brahim, for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for the wonderful words and for the inspiring remarks you have just made on behalf of the United Arab Emirates. Our next speaker is coming from the Caribbean, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Saboto Kaiser, who is the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fishery, Rural Transformation, and Industry. What is left to the other members of the government?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I wish to greet colleague ministers, ambassadors, dignitaries, and special invited guests. Mr. Chair, it is an esteemed honor to participate in this topical global discussion within the context and against the backdrop that the world is fighting one of its most monumental challenges to human civilization in recent history. Mr. Chair, intensive troubleshooting to find solutions to the avalanche of seemingly insurmountable challenges will occupy policymakers and all value chain stakeholders for the next decade, to extents that we could not plan for, predict, or could have even foreseen. The unpredictability of the vagaries of climate change, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the resultant implications on land, food security, and migration are some of the issues which small island developing states like St. Vincent and the Grenadines must grapple with on a day-to-day basis. These are impacts with the timing of their own. With a population of 110,000 citizens and a landscape size of 150 square miles, the success of our resilience plans and mitigation strategies are equally critical if we are to achieve economic growth trajectories and reach the targeted sustainable development goals of 2030. Our mantra simply is that living and life must continue, and we must rebuild better. Mr. Chair, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been able, amid the onslaughts of a global pandemic, the worst drought in 50 years, and the start of a hurricane season predicted to be hyperactive, to cement significant successes. Mr. Chair, permit me to list several of these strategic interventions aimed at sustainable food production and productivity, climate change resilience, and environmental protection, and specifically aspects of methods used to prevent land degradation. Firstly, strategic land use methodologies have been adopted. The establishment of a national greenhouse park, which acts as a major food production center, has addressed the important issue of sustainable production of vegetables utilizing irrigation systems in an agroecological zone which sustains year-round production. Further, the COVID-19 stimulus package for agriculture provides, through a national credit system for farmers, the needed finance for installation of simple systems for irrigation and rainwater harvesting. These interventions at the farm level are critical in reducing global hunger and undernourishment, since it makes food more affordable and accessible. Secondly, the increase in the demand for internal production and the export of food has led to greater technical emphasis among state technicians on sustainable farming, focused on an avoidance of land degradation. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused significant interruptions in the global food supply chain. My country has therefore redoubled its efforts to reduce its food import bill by increasing import substitution, while at the same time working to increase exports to the sub-region and the region. This translates into an intensification of the land use as a factor of production. Trained technicians have been assigned to ensure that this anticipated increase in production is done utilizing all the tenets of sustainable agriculture. Thirdly, the Ministry of Agriculture has made an expansive intervention to promote drought-tolerant crops, such as arrowroot, and tree crop production in coffee and cocoa. The state distributes tree crop planted material to farmers and provides full value chain support, inclusive of marketing of these products. Over the last 5 years, Mr. Chair, we have witnessed in my country the exponential growth of the tree crop subsector as it has recovered from Hurricane Thomas of 2010. The main targets are high value commodities, which will ensure adequate returns on investment to the producers. At this time of global disruptions in the international food supply chain, every single nation on earth will be impacted. St. Vincent and the Grenadines' import supply chain does not exist in isolation. Neither is our export supply chain independent of global interconnectivities and linkages. At this moment of general global uncertainties in food distribution, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has continued its efforts as a food producing nation, targeting local consumption, intra-regional and regional exports, and the servicing of extra-regional markets. We are confident that with greater global networking and the sharing of expertise on a bilateral and multilateral platform, that we can share the cutting-edge technologies available to combat the devastating impacts of desertification and droughts. We have not faced any food shortages in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a result of COVID-19. Instead, we have seen the establishment of food depots being distributed around the country, where farmers are able to go to take their products and to make them available to consumers. I want to wish all of us a blessed Desertification and Drought Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. And of course, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is recognized for having a great leadership, and the example you just gave in terms of farmers using food depots and having a shorter supply chains, getting closer to consumers is a concrete example. Nous allons maintenant traverser les océans et revenir vers l'Afrique. Notre prochaine interlocutrice, présentatrice est Mariam Bekay, ministre de l'Environnement et du Développement durable de la République islamique de Mauritanie. Mariam, je ne sais pas si vous allez parler en français, en anglais ou en arabe parce que vous maîtrisez les trois langues, mais dites-nous en quelle langue vous allez vous adresser à nous et vous avez la parole. Merci.
I will speak in French, please.
Okay. Vous avez la parole, madame. Le micro est ouvert.
Bonjour.
Le micro est ouvert. On vous entend. On vous entend.
D'accord,
Ouais.
très bien. Oui, donc la parole est à moi.
Vous avez la parole, madame. Oui.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur le secrétaire exécutif. Tout d'abord, je voudrais vous remercier donc, de m'avoir invité à participer à cet important panel qui traite donc d'une dimension très importante qui est celle de la désertification et de la dégradation des terres, notamment pour le continent africain, et de me trouver également en face de panélistes donc de renommée qui sont donc mes pairs, surtout les ministres de l'Environnement. Et donc, je suis très heureuse d'être parmi vous ici. Alors, moi, je vais un peu vous parler de l'expérience donc de mon pays, la Mauritanie, en matière donc de gestion de cette pandémie du Covid-19 et également donc des stratégies qui ont été mises en place pour cette gestion, mais également de la stratégie post-Covid à court et moyen terme. Comme partout dans le monde, nous, on a considéré que c'était une crise multidimensionnelle, la pandémie du Covid. C'est une crise qui est à la fois sanitaire avant tout, mais qui a eu des impacts très, très importants sur l'économie et sur aussi la dimension sociale. Pour la question environnementale, elle n'était peut-être pas très visible à ce stade-là et j'y reviendrai tout à l'heure. Cette crise, elle a montré une extrême vulnérabilité donc, de mon pays, des pays africains également et de beaucoup d'autres pays. Vulnérabilité, bien sûr, qui s'exprime à des degrés divers en fonction des pays. D'abord, c'est la vulnérabilité des systèmes sanitaires, aussi bien quand on parle des infrastructures sanitaires, mais également des équipements, des produits qui ont parfois manqué, et également des capacités, avec des besoins de formation donc à terme sur lesquels il va falloir agir. Donc, on a pu tirer un certain nombre d'enseignements par rapport à ça. La vulnérabilité, elle s'exprimait également au niveau des systèmes de protection sociale, qu'il va également falloir renforcer. Des chaînes d'approvisionnement à moindre mesure, je dirais, mais nous restons donc un pays avec une dépendance alimentaire qui est forte, mais également une dépendance par rapport aux produits pharmaceutiques vis-à-vis des marchés extérieurs. Et donc, même si l'impact n'a pas été assez grand du fait des mesures que nous avons prises rapidement, nous disons quand même que notre système est vulnérable et il va falloir travailler là-dessus. Il y a également eu l'impact du secteur informel. Nous sommes une économie à prédominance informelle. Pratiquement 80% donc, du secteur, c'est de l'informel. Et là, il y a eu un impact vraiment très, très important qui s'est traduit par des pertes de revenus. Il y a eu également des pertes d'emplois. Donc, ce sont vraiment là des éléments sur lesquels il va falloir travailler. Et il y a également eu, on s'est rendu compte aussi de la faiblesse, bien entendu, de notre système, de notre tissu industriel. Un dernier élément, ce sont aussi des attitudes socio-culturelles auxquelles on ne pense pas toujours, et qui se manifeste aussi dans ce genre de cas par rapport aux habitudes donc socio-culturelles des populations. Nous, en Mauritanie, par exemple, nous sommes une population, bon, on a l'habitude de se rassembler, de faire des visites aux parents, aux amis, Donc, il y a eu un temps d'adaptation justement pour que les gens comprennent que ce type d'attitude ne devait plus avoir lieu dans le contexte du Covid-19. Alors, les enseignements qu'on a tirés par rapport à cette gestion de la crise, d'abord, je dois dire que la crise a montré la volonté politique, le leadership politique qui sont des éléments indispensables pour pouvoir gérer de manière efficace cette crise. L'anticipation était également un élément très important, de pouvoir anticiper par rapport aux enseignements qu'on a pu tirer aussi des pays qui ont commencé à mettre en œuvre un certain nombre de mesures avant que la pandémie ne se manifeste réellement au niveau de notre pays. Et un autre élément qui est très important, c'est l'action collective. J'en parlerai aussi, qui est un élément très, très important. Donc, parmi les enseignements, je dirais qu'on doit tirer, c'est d'abord la capacité d'organisation et de coordination des pouvoirs publics dans la gestion de la crise qui a été fondamentale. Et je dirais que la politique post-Covid, donc qui viendra après, va exiger la mise en place d'une approche globale, holistique au niveau du gouvernement. On a également vu la capacité des différents secteurs impliqués à travailler ensemble dans le quotidien, dans le cadre d'une approche intégrée qui a impliqué à la fois les ministères de la Santé, de la Sécurité, du Transport, de l'Économie, des Finances, le ministère du Commerce et les ministères de l'Action sociale, qui ont vraiment travaillé main dans la main dans le cadre vraiment d'une approche globale qui a été pilotée donc, par le Premier ministre au travers d'un comité interministériel de gestion de la crise qui a été mis en place. Il y a eu également la mise en place d'un fonds de solidarité Covid-19, qui est un fonds très important auquel ont contribué, que ce soit les privés, les citoyens, les départements gouvernementaux, les partenaires au développement, et qui ont permis de mettre en place très rapidement des mesures de protection sociale, notamment la distribution de kits alimentaires, la prise en charge des frais liés à l'eau, à l'électricité pour les populations vulnérables, des transferts monétaires également, et aussi, bien entendu, l'achat de matériel et d'équipements sanitaires dont on avait besoin. On a également vu une multiplication des initiatives citoyennes et vraiment de la solidarité, ce qui montre que les citoyens peuvent s'unir face à un danger qui les concerne tous. Le gouvernement a également instauré une stratégie de communication pour informer au jour le jour la population et aussi des mesures que nous avons adoptées. Un élément qui est aussi important, ça a été l'implication des jeunes dans la sensibilisation communautaire à côté du ministère de la Santé. Mais la crise a également montré la capacité de collaboration et d'entraide entre les pays frontaliers. Et ça, c'est un élément qui est très important parce que ça nous a permis de maintenir les chaînes de provision, les chaînes d'approvisionnement alimentaire et de pouvoir aussi collaborer au niveau des contrôles, au niveau des frontières pour assurer le retour des populations dans leur pays, dans le pays respectif. Alors maintenant, je vais en venir à la dimension environnementale. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut dire de cette dimension environnementale dans le contexte de cette crise? Bien sûr, quelqu'un l'a soulevé avant moi, il y a eu un impact positif des mesures de confinement par rapport à l'environnement, où on a limité les déplacements, il y a eu le télétravail, donc qui a donné un impact positif qui a permis de réduire la pollution dans la plupart des pays et de réduire également les émissions de gaz à effet de serre. Mais je dois dire que si la pandémie n'a pas eu un réel impact négatif visible sur l'environnement, ou peut-être sauf en matière de gestion des déchets ou de gestion même des déchets biomédicaux peut-être, il ne faut pas oublier que cette pandémie trouve son origine dans la nature, puisqu'on nous a bien expliqué, les scientifiques nous ont démontré qu'elle vient avant tout donc d'un ou de plusieurs animaux. Et cette pandémie a bien entendu mis en évidence la persistance des pratiques de braconnage et du trafic d'espèces sauvages qui sont un élément important. Et aujourd'hui, de plus en plus de scientifiques continuent à travailler sur cette question et nous soulignent le rôle probable qui est joué par la dégradation de l'environnement et la dégradation de la biodiversité et des écosystèmes dans l'apparition des maladies zoonotiques, c'est-à-dire les maladies donc, qui se transfèrent de l'animal vers l'homme. Et il nous apporte de plus en plus de preuves que ces maladies zoonotiques sont appelées à se multiplier dans un contexte d'accélération du dérèglement climatique et dans un contexte aussi de crise environnementale que nous vivons aujourd'hui. Et le secrétaire général des Nations Unies nous l'a bien rappelé, on vit une crise de biodiversité et une crise environnementale de plus en plus marquée. Alors, tous ces arguments devraient pour moi plaider en faveur de la prise en compte de l'environnement dans les stratégies actuelles, mais également dans la stratégie post-Covid. Mais le problème qui se pose à nous, c'est que tout ceci ne parle pas vraiment aux économistes, ne parle peut-être pas vraiment aux décideurs économiques, à ceux qui décident des finances et qui font l'arbitrage financier, parce qu'en fait, on manque de connaissances réellement sur l'état de l'environnement, mais également on manque de connaissances suffisantes sur la valeur socio-économique des services qui sont rendus par les écosystèmes. Et je crois qu'on doit travailler beaucoup plus là-dessus, parce que c'est à partir de ces données qu'on pourra peut-être, je dirais, rediriger les décisions politiques pour prendre un peu plus en compte la question environnementale. Par exemple, les coûts de la dégradation dans de nombreux pays ne sont pas évalués de façon très claire. Alors, quelle stratégie post-Covid? Alors, à court terme, bien entendu, je pense que la plupart des pays vont mettre l'accent sur les questions sanitaires, économiques et sociales de façon à pouvoir relancer l'économie, relancer l'emploi, améliorer les systèmes sanitaires, les systèmes de protection sociale, comme je l'ai dit, et promouvoir aussi le tissu industriel. Ça, c'est également un élément très important de la stratégie. En Mauritanie, si la pandémie n'a pas eu d'effet majeur, je dirais, sur l'approvisionnement alimentaire qui a pu être bien suivi, elle nous a tout de même rappelé la fragilité de nos systèmes de production alimentaire qui sont fortement dépendants à la fois de la pluviométrie, donc des changements climatiques, et également des importations, puisqu'on importe pratiquement 70% de nos besoins en alimentation. Et cela constitue donc un risque majeur face à des chocs externes comme celui de la pandémie. Et il va falloir donc absolument renforcer la résilience de ces systèmes, et le gouvernement donc va travailler là-dessus. Par contre, nous avons bien appréhendé et bien senti les répercussions de cette pandémie dans les zones de pâturage. En effet, avec la fermeture des frontières et des mouvements donc des bergers et des animaux, il y a eu un problème d'accès au fourrage, un problème d'accès donc aux points d'eau, et notamment dans cette période à partir d'avril-mai, qui sont des périodes de soudure, les pâturages commencent à sécher, et donc le gouvernement a vraiment été obligé d'intervenir en mettant en place donc un programme pastoral spécial qui a eu pour objectif donc de pallier au déficit en pâturage et d'assurer la sauvegarde du cheptel. Et en Mauritanie, l'élevage constitue 20% du PIB, donc c'est vraiment un secteur qui est très, très important pour notre économie. Et ce programme pastoral donc, a permis de fournir des aliments de bétail à des prix subventionnés, de généraliser également l'accès aux points d'eau dans différentes zones pastorales et d'améliorer aussi les conditions de santé du cheptel. Donc, dans la stratégie post-Covid, que ce soit à court terme ou à moyen terme, les secteurs de l'agriculture, de l'élevage et de la pêche sont au cœur de la stratégie post-Covid. Et ces trois secteurs, à eux seuls, donc, totalisent 29% du PIB. Donc, pour nous, c'est vraiment un axe d'intervention prioritaire. En matière d'environnement, alors d'ores et déjà, nous, la question environnementale, elle est déjà bien intégrée dans la stratégie de développement du gouvernement et également dans la stratégie nationale pour l'environnement et le développement durable, qui intègre l'ensemble des ODD et qui intègre également les objectifs de l'accord de Paris. Et dans ce contexte, donc, nous sommes en train de travailler pour, je dirais, durcir l'application d'un certain nombre de réglementations qui ont trait à la lutte contre le braconnage et à la lutte contre la déforestation, à travers également des mesures de sensibilisation et d'amélioration de la collaboration au niveau local pour pouvoir mettre en œuvre et réduire le braconnage et la déforestation qui sont des enjeux très importants en Mauritanie. Nous allons également poursuivre les programmes de restauration des habitats et de maintien de la biodiversité et bien entendu poursuivre les programmes de reboisement et de restauration des terres et des écosystèmes dégradés, notamment à travers la poursuite de la mise en œuvre de l'initiative de la Grande Muraille Verte. Mais nous avons également défini, avec l'appui de la FAO et d'autres partenaires, un nouveau programme national de restauration et de gestion durable des ressources forestières à l'horizon 2030 et qui vise donc à terme à reboiser et à restaurer 30 000 hectares. Et nous avons également un programme de restauration des zones humides continentales qui devrait toucher près de 100 000 hectares. Alors, sur le moyen et long terme, ce que je voudrais dire, c'est que la stratégie post-Covid nous offre réellement une nouvelle opportunité pour relancer la transition écologique et trouver des solutions à l'urgence environnementale. Voilà, parce qu'il ne faudrait pas que l'urgence socio-économique aujourd'hui due à la pandémie nous fasse oublier que nous sommes bien avant la pandémie dans une situation d'urgence environnementale. Et donc, il va falloir vraiment éviter de vouloir traiter l'urgence économique aux dépens de l'urgence environnementale. Pour cela, nous travaillons à mettre en œuvre déjà assez rapidement l'approche One Health, donc une santé, qui est une approche intégrative qui met en relation la santé environnementale, la santé humaine et la santé animale. Il va falloir que nous travaillions aussi sur la mise en place des incitations économiques. C'est un maillon qui manque pour que les producteurs et les consommateurs tiennent davantage compte de l'environnement et de la biodiversité dans leurs décisions. Et nous devons également encourager les filières d'investissement qui sont favorables au maintien de la biodiversité et au maintien de l'environnement. Alors, je ne vais pas terminer avant d'aborder un certain nombre d'éléments critiques sur lesquels il va falloir travailler, sinon nous ne pourrons pas atteindre ces objectifs. Le premier élément, c'est la mise en cohérence des politiques qui est absolument fondamentale parce que nous devons arriver à exploiter les synergies et à limiter les arbitrages qui sont défavorables à la biodiversité et à l'environnement. Il va donc falloir intégrer les objectifs environnementaux dans les politiques et les plans sectoriels, notamment dans les secteurs les plus importants qui sont l'agriculture, l'élevage, la pêche, les activités extractives, mais également le secteur de l'aménagement urbain. Nous devons absolument développer et travailler à l'utilisation et à l'internalisation des outils et des méthodologies qui permettent d'intégrer la valeur socio-économique des services écosystémiques et le coût de la dégradation de l'environnement dans la comptabilité nationale de façon à favoriser la prise de décision. La question du financement est également un élément très important. Il est fondamental, bien entendu, d'accroître le financement pour l'environnement, aussi bien ceux qui proviennent des sources publiques que des sources privées. Mais il va falloir également travailler à améliorer l'efficience des investissements. Et ceci peut se faire à travers, comme je le disais, une meilleure cohérence entre les différentes politiques afin de mutualiser l'ensemble des efforts. La question des données. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes confrontés en Afrique à une faiblesse en matière de données environnementales. Il nous est donc difficile de tracer réellement des politiques environnementales si nous n'avons pas suffisamment de données et aussi de pouvoir travailler avec les départements de l'économie et des finances pour qu'on puisse réellement leur expliquer un peu cette valeur économique. Bien entendu, les axes sensibilisation, participation au niveau local sont des axes qui sont fondamentaux. Et également l'innovation. C'est l'occasion ou jamais dans les stratégies post-Covid de remettre l'innovation au cœur des politiques et d'améliorer les investissements des pays donc, en matière d'innovation. Voilà, mon dernier message dans ce contexte donc, de relance post-Covid. Nous craignons bien entendu que les efforts internationaux et également nationaux se concentrent sur les moyens de faire face à la récession économique et au renforcement des systèmes sanitaires et à la prise en charge des inégalités sociales qui se sont creusées durant la pandémie. Nous avons d'ailleurs déjà constaté que certains financements extérieurs qui étaient disponibles bien avant la crise ont été pour une bonne partie redéployés vers des mesures sanitaires, économiques et sociales aux dépens des mesures environnementales. Ce que nous comprenons tout à fait vu l'urgence de la situation. Mais je le répète, l'environnement ne doit pas être le parent pauvre des stratégies post-Covid qui doivent être pensées à moyen et long terme dans une optique de durabilité. Et on comprend tous que les écosystèmes naturels sont le socle de notre économie et du bien-être humain. Et donc, il n'y a pas d'économie, il n'y a pas de protection sociale, il n'y a pas de bien-être humain qui est possible si nous n'attaquons pas la préservation de notre économie. Nous savons que l'économie africaine en particulier est entièrement basée sur l'exploitation de ses ressources naturelles. Les secteurs de l'agriculture, par exemple, des pêches, des mines, des hydrocarbures, fournissent de 40 à 60% du PIB national selon les pays. Il ne peut pas y avoir donc de développement sans qu'on ne protège et qu'on utilise de manière durablement nos ressources naturelles. Alors, je finirai par dire que nous devons tous ensemble plaider pour plus de synergie et d'intégration au niveau global aussi. L'année prochaine, nous aurons l'adoption du cadre mondial sur la biodiversité et nous aurons également le processus de la mise à jour des contributions déterminées dans le cadre de l'accord de Paris sur le climat. Nous devons absolument utiliser ces plateformes pour nous assurer d'intégrer des objectifs de restauration des terres dégradées au niveau donc de ces différentes plateformes. Et ceci doit s'inscrire donc dans l'esprit de la décennie des Nations Unies pour la restauration des écosystèmes, qui est donc la période 2021 et 2030. Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup, Madame, pour votre intervention qui est très claire. Nous allons maintenant passer à travers les frontières et we are now traveling across oceans and going to India. Namaste, Dr. Babul Supriyo, Minister of State, Minister of Environment, Forests, and Climate Change of the Republic of India. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, my friend Ibrahim. I've had the good fortune to meet you during the COP sessions that India had hosted in India, in Delhi, in which you had graced and not only graced the occasion, but have also thrilled us and touched us with your compassion and you're resolute to actually bring in a huge change in the direction in which the world needs to walk today, especially given the fact that it seems that the nature is trying its own, is actually making us realize that we haven't taken care of our earth, our mother nature, as we call in India, Dharti Ma, in the manner in which we should have. So it's a great feeling to get to see you. And I'm very happy that you're moderating this today, Your Excellency. You are the Executive Secretary, and under your leadership, under your cooperation, we all aspire, all the nations, we aspire to build a better tomorrow. On the occasion of Desertification and Drought Day 2020, first of all, I would like to congratulate and my heartiest greetings and namaskar pranam from India to all the respected dignitaries, ministers who are taking part from different parts of the world, who are sharing their experiences with us. And I think as human beings, once we share our own experiences, we not only leave a mark in other people's lives, but we also, with the examples that you may have set in your own countries, you also inspire the other countries to walk in the right direction. As they say, when you walk the right direction, what you need to do is just keep walking. So we need to walk the right direction. And on this particular day, which directly deals with the conservation of land, in the Indian context, the Dharti Ma, I express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you. And I'm very thankful to the members of UNCCD Secretariat for inviting me to the panel discussion. I am very, very happy and would be elated to share the Indian perspective and also ensure enlightenment with respect to the imperative issue of land on a global scale. You know, all of us, we celebrate, we spend, we tend to be very special, act special, be extra careful, pampering to our mothers on the Mother's Day. In many ways, more than one. There can't just be one Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. Every day is a day in which you can express your gratitude to your mother. And in India, as I've already said, Dharti Ma is a mother. And one day for desertification and drought, one day for environment, one day for climate change is not going to give us the tomorrow that we would want to leave for our, for the future generation, for our children, for the grandchildren, and the years to come. When we were young, when I was young, Ibrahim looks a very good boy, but when I was young, I very often got scolded from my mother for not doing the right things or doing mischievous things which were not good for me in the future, in the long run. Similarly, I think in today's day with COVID, with the different kinds of cyclones and everything else that is happening on planet Earth, we think that our mother nature or Dharti Ma or the mother land is giving us some kind of a reprimandation for the careless or rather casual approach that we may have inflicted on our mother planet. In some ways, the planet or our mother, they have the ability to cure themselves, to take care of their own children, like the way we see the ozone hole rather, repairing itself, and it's not there anymore. it has healed itself in the last few days. In that way, Mother Nature did take care of us. But are we doing enough to ensure that we give back that love on the only planet, knowingly as we speak, the only planet or a celestial body in this universe which seem to have human life? And our country, India, had the privilege, as you know, to host the 14th session COP14 2019 with your collaboration, UNCCD. And in the days to come, the commitments made by India during that particular session, we, as I said, we will successfully execute that within the stipulated time frame. And I think that time is a very important factor when we are talking about doing something substantially good to not only repair but also change the manner in which we handle climate, and we let the world keep us happy. In a very famous book of Islam called Hadith, it says, La tasabudra wu walahu. As I speak, this line comes to my mind. It means time is God, don't waste time. So I think the time is now. This is the time when we all need to act together. And therefore, I'm very happy that we are meeting together, and we are expressing and sharing our own thoughts with each other. And that's the way we need to grow. As I said, we would in India very passionately work towards getting the things done, keeping our promises within the stipulated time. I may want to reiterate the directive issued by Honorable Prime Minister of India during the COP14 that India will be restoring 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030, and will be abiding by the Delhi Declaration adopted during COP14, and urge the member countries to follow the same. I think in today's perspective, we really do not need to urge others. I think it's an urge that needs to develop and grow in our hearts to do whatever we need to do individually and collectively as human beings to ensure that this earth, this planet is a better place for the future and for today as well. I'm glad to state that India is willing to share and extend knowledge apart from sharing, caring, and accepting with humble hearts all the enlightenment that would come from participating countries of the UNCCD in this particular endeavor. We would extend our technology training through South-South cooperation initiatives to the countries who wish to adopt land restoration strategies and activities. And I don't think there would be any country in this world, given the kind of forest fires that we have seen from Australia to South America. I think that there wouldn't be any country who would not want to exchange ideas, technology, and scientific developments with each other to ensure that they take care and restore the degraded land that has surely happened in their part of the world. Having said that, I also take a lot of pride as the Minister of State for Environment, Forests, and Climate Change that our ministry, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, in India, we are one of the very few countries in the world where the forest cover has actually increased. And in our country, our forest cover has actually increased by more than 1%, almost close to 2%, which is a good thing. But then it shows that we are walking the right direction with the right resolute, and therefore the walk forward should be more stronger with the inspiration that we have achieved, not only from doing well, but also with the cooperation and hand-holding that we have received from UNCCD and all the participating countries. I insist the member countries, I don't think under today's circumstances, we need to insist anyone, but we are all self-insisting each other and ourselves to stand by each other in these crucial times of the pandemic, to the need of land, which is the most significant entity for survival. I would like to end by translating a sloka which we normally say in Sanskrit in India, which says that friends, riches, and grains. I repeat, friends, riches, and grains are highly honored in this world by mother and motherland, and both mother and motherland, as I translate what is there in Sanskrit, both mother and motherland are much more superior to heaven. So that's all I would like to share with you. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for being present in this virtual conference in this real world, which is facing a lot of challenges. In the virtual images, as we learned in physics, the virtual images are all very straight. We speak well, we show good files, we do make nice PPT presentations. Virtual images are erect, as we have learned in physics, but the real images are inverted. So as we speak, as we stand together in this virtual conference, let us also acknowledge the fact that the real images around us are not straight and standing erect. In many ways, more than one, they are inverted, and it's our duty, our responsibility to give it back to the nature and make the real images not only look good in real life, in all those beautiful videos that we make to share with each other, in color correction, with all kinds of filters that we use, but also the real world looks real and erect, standing together with us in everything that we do in the years to come. Once again, thank you so much, and Ibrahim, thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Babul. And as always, it's always inspiring to listen to you. And of course, we remember COP14 of the UNCCD and the generosity and the hospitality of the Indian people. Please pass my my best regards to the Honorable Minister Pradesh Javedekar and to all your collaborators. But please, we will come back to you with some follow-up questions. Our next speaker does not need introduction, but we are flying back to the United Arab Emirates. The Director General of the International Renewable Energy Agency is with us today. Dr. Francisco La Camera does not need introduction, but he deals with renewable energy, which is extremely important for us in terms of land restoration. And our question to him is, what is the experience and the implications of COVID-19 on the renewable energy and the energy transition? Dr. Francisco La Camera, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, my friend. And thank you for inviting me to this important event in the occasion of the Desertification and Drought Day. Let me also greet all the participants and friends in this occasion from my own place in a sunny Abu Dhabi. As we work towards the recovery from COVID-19 pandemic, it is important that we come together across from different disciplines. Together, we must holistically address the elements of our society and economies that must be rebuilt in a more sustainable way. It is time for a new social contract with nature. Yes, it is. And we need to have an approach that is holistic, and where an important part may be played by renewable energy. At the International Renewable Energy Agency, we promote all forms of renewable energy and support our more than 160 member countries in their transition to a sustainable energy future. There are many intersections between desertification, drought, and renewable energy. Just some. Renewable energy solutions provide energy access, support land use management, and increase resilience of communities. Renewables boost water security and contribute to long-term food sustainability and security. Last year in New Delhi, in the occasion of the COP14 of the UNSSD, ARENA and the UNSSD Secretariat signed a memorandum of understanding. It recognized the importance of sustainable energy in combating desertification and land degradation, including in the context of climate adaptation and resilience. With the lead of Ibrahim Chow, we will tirelessly work together to achieve our common goals. While COVID-19 is causing unprecedented challenges, we must not forget that climate change is the biggest threat we face over the long term. However, it is possible that the global recovery from COVID-19 can put the world on a path toward a safe, just, and sustainable future. To date, governments around the world have already announced over $8 billion of US dollar in stimulus packages. The scale of funds mobilized is truly massive and should show what is possible. But you would be carefully not to ensure those funds also support long-term objectives. Align short-term and long-term objective is essential to support recovery on a good track. Many sectors have been adversely impacted by the pandemic, including renewables. Many countries saw electricity demand fall, weekly energy demand fall by 25% for countries in complete lockdown. Energy needs in transport is also plunged. Disruption to employment, investment in the supply chains have led to a ripple effect. Fossil fuels have taken the brunt of the demand reduction due to less transport and industrial activity. Renewables have been impacted by the pandemic, but arguably have been fared better than the rest of the energy sector, showing an astonishing resilience. For many reasons, the long-term impact of the renewable sector may be different than in other parts of the economy. This is because energy transition brings a range of possible solutions in a very difficult moment. Renewable technologies can be ramped up relatively quickly, helping to revive industry and create new jobs. Lockdown have demonstrated that electricity system can operate effectively, also if a large share of renewable is there. The use of renewable energy sources in a way that some, including small island developed states, can increase energy and self-reliance. ARENA Global Renewable Outlook released in April show how we can build more sustainable, equitable, and resilient economy and society. Our analysis showed that the rise of global temperature can be kept to well below degrees and reducing by 70% of the world energy-related CO2 emission. Our analysis showed that investment in clean energy will not only help to decarbonize the energy system, they will also increase energy sector jobs to 100 million globally by 2050, increase global GDP by 2.4, and improve welfare. By taking an holistic view in which local economic, environmental, and social needs are factored in national plans to support a just transition, environmental health benefits could be felt in every region around the world. You know, ARENA is working with UNDP in the context of the climate promise to support 110 countries in the revision and raising ambition for the NDCs. We are also working with the authority of the Abu Dhabi Development Funds here in the Emirates to provide a new wave of funds available for the poorest country. As we hope that the initiative of the Climate Investment Platform that we took together with UNDP C4All with the cooperation GCF can provide also a push in having the financial resources needed to tackle the main problem, the priority problem of desertification and drought in the poorest country. I hope that we may contribute in this way to a transformative change, especially to those areas struggling with desertification, drought, and land management. We as ARENA, we have brought and we will bring in the debates in all occasions and around the world the voice of the poorest, the voice of the LDCs of this country. I thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francesco. And of course, renewables, this is the time for renewables. And I'm very happy that you are seizing the opportunity. There was a slight problem with the mic. If you can try to fix it before we go to the second round, that would be appreciated because there's a little bit of noise for the interpreters. We are about now to move to the next segment, but before we do that, I understand we have a video, a beautiful video that we would like to show to all of you before we move to the second round of questions.
Brindamos al mercado un kit para la instalación de huertos, enseñando a niños y adultos a cultivar sus propios alimentos de manera sustentable, generando seguridad alimentaria. Por medio del manual de Ecología en Familia, nos encargamos de que conozcan los diferentes cuidados de los cultivos, pero que sobre todo observen el proceso de cómo una simple semilla puede transformarse en una planta y de una planta generar un alimento que llega a nuestro plato.
Welcome back, and thank you to our colleagues who are doing a wonderful job on the ground. We are now moving to the second segment of the panel, which is basically follow-up questions to our panelists. We are running a little bit behind time, but I'm determined to finalize the entire program and to run some of the questions coming from the public. So if I can ask the panelists to be a little bit briefer, because we are running a little bit out of time. Let me move to you, Dr. Thani bin Ahmed Al-Zayudi from the United Arab Emirates. What is the experience and implications of COVID-19 for the social, economic, and environmental well-being of your country? You have been also talking about technology and the progress that you are making in terms of using technology for land restoration. I would like to hear more from you, but unfortunately, all of that in 3 minutes.
Thank you, my friend Brahim. The social aspects of the pandemic, I touched on the earlier intervention, but in the technological aspects, which is I'm going to detail in my intervention now, agricultural technologies have helped us address the many challenges that we face while growing crops, such as water scarcity, lack of arable lands. In addition to the growing numbers of hydroponics and vertical farming in the country, we're currently exploring the potential of using renewable energy to power climate-controlled agriculture facilities and to desalinate water for irrigations. And we managed to get one of the lowest prices of desalinating water using mix the hybrid between the gas as well as the solar, which is going to be announced very soon. And we recently as well announced the success of the pilot phase of the innovative projects. We managed to grow rice in the desert using water-saving technologies and rice varieties that can tolerate heat and salinity. We are also proud of this breakthrough as it serves as a baseline for growing other crops that we are never thought could be suitable for our desert climates here in the Middle East. We also use the drones to improve our agriculture sector in 2 ways, and I invite you to watch this video, which is going to summarize how we are using the technology in the agriculture sector. So I'll ask the administration to play the video, please. Thank you. With that, I'm done with my intervention. Thank you, Ibrahim.
Fantastic. It's, when you have new technology used and put at the disposition of technicians and experts, it is absolutely fantastic. And we are truly looking forward to coming to visit it once we finish with the lockdowns and all the COVID-19 story. The world needs to see this. Thank you very much, Minister. Can I just maybe go back to Mauritania and ask Madame la Ministre, vous êtes une des championnes de la Grande Muraille Verte et vous êtes présidente en exercice du Conseil des ministres de la Grande Muraille Verte qui représente 11 pays d'Afrique. Vous avez entendu le secrétaire général des Nations Unies parler de la Grande Muraille Verte. Quelles sont les options que vous avez en ce moment et quelles sont les difficultés que vous rencontrez également? Je suis désolé, encore une fois, c'est 3 minutes.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le secrétaire exécutif, pour cette question très importante. Donc, d'abord, je voudrais confirmer que mon pays assure effectivement la présidence en exercice du sommet des chefs d'État et de gouvernement et du Conseil des ministres de la Grande Muraille Verte et qu'au niveau national, cette initiative figure parmi les priorités du programme du président de la République. Alors, tout d'abord, je voudrais revenir avec quelques chiffres sur l'importance du phénomène de la dégradation des terres en Afrique. C'est un phénomène vraiment de grande ampleur qui touche 65% des terres agricoles et près de 700 millions d'écosystèmes agricoles en Afrique. Et en général, en moyenne, c'est à peu près 100 000 hectares par an dans de nombreux pays donc, qui sont dégradés. C'est également un phénomène qui touche 3 millions d'hectares de forêts qui disparaissent chaque année. Alors, votre question, la restauration est-elle une option viable? Je dirais que c'est une option incontournable d'abord, mais que sa viabilité dépend d'un certain nombre de facteurs. Alors, c'est une option incontournable pour ses multiples avantages socio-économiques, mais également environnementaux, puisque la restauration des terres est vraiment un enjeu de développement durable et il contribue à plusieurs objectifs de développement durable. On sait que la restauration des terres renforce la résilience des écosystèmes, dont la santé conditionne la durabilité des moyens de subsistance des communautés locales et également à la croissance économique. Elle contribue à renforcer la sécurité alimentaire et énergétique, la gestion durable des ressources en eau, la santé également et la sécurité humaine. Elle améliore aussi la séquestration du carbone dans les sols et elle maintient la biodiversité. Voilà. Alors, le plus grand défi auquel nous allons faire face, c'est qu'avec l'accroissement prévu de la population, les besoins en nourriture, en fourrage, en énergie seront en augmentation constante. Et les ressources naturelles aujourd'hui sont en diminution. Nous l'avons vu, nous faisons face à une crise environnementale majeure. Et cette situation risque de perdurer si nous ne changeons pas à la fois l'envergure de nos interventions de restauration des écosystèmes, mais aussi ces investissements doivent absolument s'accompagner d'un changement des modes de consommation et de production. Et on le sait, les Nations Unies nous l'ont dit, le coût de la dégradation des terres a été estimé à près de 10% du PIB mondial. En Afrique, ces coûts sont moins bien évalués. Alors, les facteurs, je disais oui, mais quels sont les facteurs de viabilité? Pour des résultats durables, la restauration des terres doit absolument s'accompagner de mesures visant à réduire les pressions qui existent actuellement et qui sont responsables de la dégradation des écosystèmes. Nous devons notamment mettre en place des solutions alternatives et de substitution donc à l'énergie au charbon de bois. Nous devons mettre en place des incitations économiques pour que les producteurs et les consommateurs tiennent davantage compte de la préservation et de l'utilisation durable des terres. Nous devons mieux vulgariser les pratiques d'exploitation durable telles que l'agroforesterie, l'agroécologie, et nous devons créer des chaînes de valeur verte qui pourront donner des revenus notamment aux femmes et aux jeunes. Tout ça font partie des objectifs de la Grande Muraille Verte. Nous devons également travailler sur la mise en place de stratégies locales de partenariat qui engagent durablement et de manière efficace les populations, les élus, la société civile, tous les acteurs locaux. Nous devons faire en sorte que les populations qui contribuent aux interventions de restauration reçoivent les gains qui sont procurés par les services écosystémiques qui sont ainsi améliorés et générés. Nous devons faire ensemble que les interventions de la Grande Muraille Verte, qui sont des interventions multidimensionnelles, on l'a vu, impliquent tous les secteurs qui sont concernés et qu'il y ait une meilleure collaboration de façon à mutualiser tous les efforts des différents secteurs, notamment l'agriculture, l'énergie, l'hydraulique. La plupart des pays, nous l'avons constaté, ne disposent pas de systèmes d'information viables et efficaces pour pouvoir rendre compte de la dimension de la dégradation des terres. Nous devons améliorer ces systèmes. Nous devons renforcer les connaissances, les études, la collecte des données, la cartographie des zones dégradées. Nous venons de voir un exemple très parlant qui vient de nous être présenté donc, par le ministre des Émirats arabes unis sur la manière justement d'utiliser les drones et de mieux faire cette cartographie. Et nous avons besoin de ce type de solution, de ce type d'innovation. Et enfin, nous avons un besoin important en financement. Nous devons monter en puissance dans la restauration et ça implique des financements supplémentaires. Aujourd'hui, plusieurs projets des partenaires techniques et financiers contribuent auprès des gouvernements donc, à apporter des financements donc à la Grande Muraille Verte, mais ces financements doivent être mis en cohérence de façon à tirer le maximum de synergie possible. Alors, le dernier mot, que doit-on faire pour aller justement améliorer cette restauration, pour compléter la Grande Muraille Verte? On l'a dit, c'est une initiative ambitieuse de par son caractère multidimensionnel. Elle concerne 11 pays actuellement et le tracé de la Grande Muraille Verte porte sur 7600 km de long. La décennie qui vient de s'écouler a permis de restaurer sur l'ensemble des 11 pays 3 600 000 hectares, mais qui ont été financés en grande partie sur les budgets publics. Les avancées ont été variables selon les pays, mais ils demeurent insuffisants. On a des pays qui sortent du lot, qui ont vraiment mis en œuvre la restauration des terres à une échelle beaucoup plus importante, mais dans d'autres pays, il y a encore des améliorations à faire. Les avancées ont permis aujourd'hui d'augmenter la couverture forestière, d'améliorer la productivité des terres agricoles, de mettre en place des reboisements, de l'agroforesterie, de lutter contre les feux de brousse, d'assurer également la fixation des dunes et la régénération naturelle assistée. Nous avons également pu créer de nombreux emplois, qu'ils soient directs ou saisonniers, avec une participation active des femmes. Alors, que faire pour augmenter le rythme actuel de la restauration et des espaces forestiers? Notre objectif à l'horizon 2030 est, je dirais, très ambitieux. C'est 25 millions d'hectares de terre que nous souhaitons restaurer et aménager. C'est donc un programme d'investissement très ambitieux qui va nécessiter des efforts de mobilisation de ressources importants, aussi bien au niveau national qu'à travers les partenariats que nous pourrions tisser avec les partenaires techniques et financiers. Rappelons que la décennie des Nations Unies pour la restauration des écosystèmes commence l'année prochaine et nous souhaitons vraiment utiliser et bénéficier de cette plateforme pour pouvoir faire un plaidoyer beaucoup plus important envers la restauration des terres dégradées. J'insiste encore une fois, il va falloir qu'on arrive à mettre en place, à déployer un argumentaire économique en faveur de la restauration et de la gestion durable des terres pour qu'elles soient incluses dans les processus de décision et dans les processus budgétaires. Il va falloir que nous arrivions à impliquer le secteur privé qui, pour le moment, ne contribue pas beaucoup à cette initiative. Il va falloir également qu'on relance les partenaires techniques et financiers qui ont déjà fait des annonces de financement, voilà, mais qui ne se sont pas encore concrétisées. Il va falloir également renforcer la coopération régionale, qui est un élément très important et qui nécessite donc des renforcements. Et on sait qu'on a plusieurs initiatives régionales aujourd'hui qui contribuent à la restauration des terres, dont l'initiative Afrique 100. Il y a également le programme d'action contre la désertification de la FAO et il y a l'initiative 3S qui privilégie une approche de restauration des terres à travers la soutenabilité, la stabilité et la sécurité. Il faut absolument que ces initiatives régionales puissent travailler ensemble de façon à mutualiser leurs efforts. Mon message, quel est-il? Les bénéfices socio-économiques d'une restauration durable et écologique résiliente doivent faire l'objet d'une analyse poussée et les résultats doivent être communiqués aux décideurs et aux praticiens si l'on veut que les possibilités de financement à long terme se concrétisent. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and thank you for your vision and for your passion. Let me go to Minister Saboto Kaiser from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the question is, as a small island state, what land use challenges do you face? How can land restoration and biodiversity conservation contribute to your efforts to fight climate change? Minister. Again, we are running out of time, so I'm asking you to be as brief as possible.
I'll be extremely brief. We have to take into consideration that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have available for agriculture only 18,000 acres of land. We have 150 square miles, and we are a multi-island state. Therefore, we can see on a day-to-day basis the extreme competition for different forms of land use, because with a population of 110,000 persons, there will be persons on a day-to-day basis wanting to utilize lands which hitherto were used for agriculture. Persons would want to utilize them for living and accommodation. Therefore, this places extreme pressure on land use in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. However, the government has been able to have restrictive covenants on certain parcels of lands, therefore ensuring that in coastal areas, there's still lands for agricultural production. There's the issue with soil fertility differentiations throughout the country, whereby there are farmers who want to produce certain commodities, but these commodities prefer certain soil types. Therefore, farmers have to adjust accordingly. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is volcanic, therefore, the topography of the country is very mountainous. And because of that, we have to adopt unique methodologies for farming, since when you're farming on very steep slopes, you have to ensure that you practice conservation methods so that the runoff will not destroy different areas in the floodplain districts. In all, we have been able to create a comprehensive package working with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Department of Forestry to ensure that conservation is at the fore of the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I know that generations to come will benefit from this. We ensure that as we work to get together to protect the common heritage of mankind, working to ensure that future generations will benefit from our hard work, so that when they come, they could see that the biodiversity in our country is protected. And I'm encouraging persons across the globe to do such good work as well.
Thank you very much, Minister, and thank you for also your brevity, because you helped us manage a little bit of the time. Let me move now to India. Your Excellency Superior, is large-scale land restoration part of the post-COVID recovery plan? You talked about 26 million hectares that India will be restoring in the next few years. You also talked about 1% increase of forest cover in India. That is a huge piece of land, considering the size of the subcontinent of India. I'm not saying even a country, it is a subcontinent. And would you see any cooperation that could be enhanced? Now, a lot of questions, also 3 minutes.
I've already told you, Ibrahim, that time is God, don't waste time. I think we are all walking the right direction. So I would keep my comments as short as possible. It would have been great to list out the things that we are trying to do in a country of 130 crore or 1.3 billion people. You really do not know how much that is. And we are growing at a really, really good pace. So it's 1.3 billion people. And in that, if the challenges just get multifolded. And I would like to bring forth the ambitious plans of land restoration. The investments India is making to restart its economy, which is a big challenge all over the world. And our Honorable Prime Minister has carried out has taken several noble and ambitious endeavors to ensure that we are back in track, because it's a catch-22 situation where staying at home and staying together in a confined area is the way to not spread the virus, but economy demands that you go out, you work, you earn, then you go back to the shops, buy. Once you buy, things get sold. Once things get sold, the manufacturers get money, then they get back into manufacturing more, create more supply, and so this entire chain. So they sometimes tend to pull you away from each other, but it's important that economic growth actually goes hand in hand with the way the world is fighting the pandemic. So free food grains, as I said earlier, that richness grain, etc., are very, very important to this world. So free food grains supply was given to migrants. We have a lot of migrants all over the world for more than 2 months, and about 0.8 million metric ton of food grain and 50,000 metric ton of pulses. They were allocated with an entire outlay of about 0.35 billion, which was entirely borne by the government of India. Our technology system, very, very importantly, we have something called the public distribution system, the PDS, for which we issue ration cards, which is like a social security number concept, which rather we have now upgraded to a very specific thing as Aadhaar. But in that PDS system, it's a one nation, one ration card, and in this huge country of 1.3 billion people, everyone, whether they are a guy staying in California having a PDS card in California, can actually, if he has migrated to New York, he doesn't need to do anything but go to a shop and show his card and get his share of food grains, even when he's in a different state. In an advanced, digitally advanced country like America, it seems a easy task to do, but in India we are going very, very fast under the Digital India aspirations and pushes of Honorable Prime Minister, and this we are going to make into a reality. Fair price shops will be catering to this one nation card. Rupees 300 billion additional emergency working capital has been provided for farmers through National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development, which we call the NABARD, which will benefit about 30 million farmers. And we know that this is an agrarian economy, India, where agriculture and infrastructure, they both need to walk forward holding each other's hand. Rupees 2 trillion credit boost to 25 million farmers under the Kisan credit card scheme. Kisan means farmer. So the farmers will be given credit apart from several other endeavors by the Honorable Prime Minister in terms of the farmers insurances of crop, about the farmers Sanman Nidhi, which is kind of an honorarium given to them for the hard work they do for the country. Amendment of the Essential Commodities Act, which is a very important act. I could get into detail, but I wouldn't. Farmers have been empowered to engage with processors, aggregators, wholesalers, large retailers, exporters directly through e-commerce, and they are getting much better prices in terms of the crops that they are doing. The government is committed to the cause of the farmers' welfare through PM Kisan, which PM Farmers Yojana. About 95.4 million farmer families by as on 1st June 2020 have been benefited, and an amount of rupees 195.15 billion has already been disbursed so far during the lockdown period. Then lastly, there are several things that there is a time constraint. An amount of rupees 80.90 billion has been paid during lockdown under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which is the crop insurance that I was talking about, under the leadership and concept of our Honorable Prime Minister. Higher support prices, minimum support prices, or the MSP for crops, is now fixed to the minimum is 1.5 times the cost of production. Rupees 60 billion for creating employment, and lot has been done. Even in our own ministry, the CAMPA funds, which is the Compensatory Afforestation Management and Planning Authority, we have distributed 48,000 crores 48,000 crores, which is like how many million? It's 100 crore is equal to 1 billion. So it's 480 billion. 480 billion, has been given away to the states to fight this degradation of forest and to do compensatory afforestation for any infrastructure project they may have done by doing some kind of harm or destroying forest cover. So we have taken great initiatives to respect the land degradation neutrality. And I think that with all these endeavors, with all the hand-holding that you are doing with the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, and a very, very positive atmosphere, positive aura that all of us together are trying to create to fight this testing times where the pandemic has really shown the world how small we are in front of the nature's fury or wrath.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I once again thank you, and this is all that I have to say. I have much more to say from a big country of 130 crore, 1.3 billion people.
1.3 billion people.
With 1.3 billion people. And as I talk to you, Thiem, the number has changed. As I talk to you, every 8 seconds, I think a baby is born. So as I talk to you, the number has just changed. So don't hold it against me for not giving you the right figures. So as I said, I'll keep it within the time so that we reach the goal in the right time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Obviously, we need more time because India is doing so much and all the countries are doing a lot in terms of... But Francisco, can I finish with you? Just a question to you. You talked about the green economy. Someone in St. Vincent would call it blue economy, but clearly renewables are part of the solution. So if you can tell me in 1 minute, because we have to close, in 1 minute, what is your thinking in terms of recovery post-COVID-19?
I will do in the time. So to respond to this, I have to just say how we entered the pandemic from an energy system point of view. We have been in the last 8 years seeing how renewables installed capacity as outpacing the traditional one. We see how the renewables are the most competitive way to produce energy. We estimate that 1,200 gigawatts of coal plants next year will operate more expensively if you are to substitute them with new renewables. So we really hope that the evidence showed the direction we have to go. And the massive public money that is going to the market make the shift. So the trend was already there. We have to accelerate it. So it's a big opportunity for going the right direction of sustainable development and the decarbonized society. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you very much to all panelists, and my apologies to our public because we could not ask all the questions, but I can assure you that all the questions that are guided to UNCCD, we will respond and put on the post on the website, and we will endeavor to get the response also from panel members. Minister Thani Ben Ahmed Al Zayudi from the United Arab Emirates, Minister Saboto Kaiser from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Minister Mariam Bekai from the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Minister Babul Suprio from the Republic of India, and Mr. Francisco La Camera, Director General of IRENA. Thank you very much for being with us today, and thank you for your excellent participation to this panel. I would like to also thank all the people that have been connected. You have been hundreds of people that have been connected from around the world, and thank you to all my colleagues here in the room. Until next time, I wish you all and be safe and healthy. And bye-bye.